Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. It's a beautiful 5th of May, 2021. Coming to the Crusty Canuck podcast, episode 122. More C10 garble, more political garble, and more lockdown BS. All that and more coming up. Stick around.
Hit it, sweetheart. Because I am hard, you will not like me.
Aye, aye, sir.
There is no racial bigotry here. Here you are all equally worthless.
From Western Canada, this is the Crusty Canuck podcast, a Canadian veteran's point of view on political, social, economic issues and life. Here's Crusty.
That's right, ladies and gentlemen. Episode 122 of the Crusty Canuck podcast coming at you here via Podbean. And listener discretion is advised. I do use bad language, and this is not meant for children. So don't say I didn't warn you. Yes, more C10 chaos in the midst. Yes, of course, it's been the mainstream media here in Canada for a long time now. Well, at least the past few days, that with other COVID BS. But here we go. Stephen Gilbert in the hot seat and being criticized by other politicians as we speak. There'll be links in the description and all that good stuff to follow along with the information. And yes, if you like and hear what you see, ladies and gentlemen, please click like and subscribe and share this all around. Let us independent folk get our word out there. With you, my listeners and fans alike, please share, click like, hit the little bell for notifications when a new episode comes your way. And let's keep the algorithm going to help us independent folk. Anyway, carrying on. More lack of transparency from our leaders. Yes, of course, there's more politics involved with the whole Canadian Forces scandal in regards to some harassment and some sexual endeavors with certain female personnel, and how the brass hides behind that, and how some of the civilian brass is denying it, and more of the crap with Bill C10, a proposal that Liberals come up with to stop hate speech. Oh, yes, we have to regulate things so there's no more hate speech ever around. Oh, of course. And when I listen to these fucking clowns talk about, censoring and all that, we already have hate speech laws in this country. They were passed, as far as I remember, in the 70s. You can't blatantly just write an article about something and use defamatory language, i.e. you can't say the N-word, can't say this, can't say that. And rightfully, who the hell will, to be honest with you? I was raised better than that, and I think the majority of my listeners were raised better than that, ladies and gentlemen. But just the way these clowns are talking about the whole... how they want to help the CRTC create Canadian content and all that good stuff. I'm thinking, okay, we don't have a content problem in this country as far as I'm concerned. And we don't need any more government regulations telling us what we can say and what we can do, period. So to any moron out there that hopefully and wholeheartedly agrees with this kind of mandate, I think you got a problem. I think your worldview is a bit skewed when it comes to the reality of people creating their own work and creating their own videos or podcasts, such as myself, and creating their own kind of print medium, or just creating whatever. It doesn't matter what videos they create. It doesn't matter if they make little jokes, tidbits, make their fan-based movies, or express a love for other work out there. Heck, it doesn't even matter if you try on fucking bikinis and show to the world, whatever. It's a matter of letting people do their thing, okay? And let the individual decide which is good or bad when it comes to understanding content. Now, this show, I think has a lot of Canadian content. I reflect on points of Canadian history. I reflect on points of Canadian politics. I share my experience with you, my listeners and audience alike, in some situations I've been. I've confessed to some of my sins in my life. So I think there's a lot of Canadian content out there that should just be respected and left alone. It doesn't need to be reinforced by any members of the CRTC or Stephen Guilbeault's little Heritage Front ministry, right? And you know what I call them, Heritage Front? Because there used to be some shithead back in the 90s who had a little group called the Heritage Front, and they were supposed to be these great fucking big Nazi know-it-alls, and they were just shitheads. So to sum it all up, I think Mr. Gilbert is doing no fucking better than that shithead back in the 90s, right? I think this guy's name was Wolfgang something. Anyway, it's coming back to me, but needless to say, they're doing no better, ladies and gentlemen. Really, they're not making it easy for Canadians, okay? Now look at what this party has done, okay? I've mentioned this numerous times in the show, okay? SNC-Lavalin, we scandal, ridiculous amounts of debt, pay raises, Insults left and right, name calling, mudslinging, whatever the political fucking terminology is. We've all seen it loud and clear. And now they still got to fight in Parliament over C10. Now, luckily, I'm actually impressed with Mr. Jagmeet Singh, who might vote against this C10. Now, regardless if you want to hold on to your job or hold on to your perks and privileges because you're a member of Parliament, think about it for a second. Now, if C10 was to pass, that means everyone in Canada would be fucking under the scrutiny, under the fucking micromanagement and microglass of the CRTC when it comes to what we put online or what we put on our airwaves or what we listen to on the radio. That's if people still listen to talk radio. I quite enjoy talk radio. It has been the same for a very long time now because it's all this lefty fucking agenda about progress and wokeness, right? So we need podcasts, ladies and gentlemen. It doesn't matter what kind of podcast you listen to. It doesn't matter what kind of independent music you enjoy. We need these alternate means, right? Because we've all seen how the mainstream media has treated the common folk in this country. We all seen how the mainstream media treated Donald Trump in the United States. How everyone was just out to get him. And I admit, he was a bit goofy. Some of his tweets, some of this shit he would say was pretty stupid. But I don't think he was that bad of a person, to be honest with you, regardless if he was rich or not. How many politicians have come and gone in both of our countries that have had some kind of wealth tucked away behind their lifestyle somewhere, okay? So you can't use that as an excuse anymore. And when it comes to producing and creating your own work, so be it, right? There's tons of podcasts out there I have yet to discover that I haven't listened to. And there's some podcasts that I have listened to that I really don't like. But I'm not going to shun those individuals. I'm not going to chastise them because they have an agreement with certain political moguls or they have an agreement with a certain lifestyle. I personally don't care. If you don't like it, you don't listen to it. If you don't want to see it, you change the fucking channel. If you don't want to read it, you put it down or you turn the fucking page. And yet all these so-called know-it-alls like Gilbert and Ms. Telford, and I'll get to her later too with her knowledge of the whole sexual harassment issue, right? And other individuals, right, sitting there saying all doing this in the name of safety, okay? And I'll play some audio here for you, and I want you, my listeners, to decide, right? Really think about what he is saying and how he is deflecting some of the bullshit that he's promoting.
Stay updated and follow Crusty Canuck on Facebook, Twitter, Gab, Telegram, YouTube, and Podbean. Subscribe today and donate at crustycanuck.ca.
And what gets me too is the whole time that Mr. Gilbert is promoting all this bullshit, where's our beloved sock puppet aficionado? Sitting there smiling, shaking hands, showing off his socks, maybe popping up once in a while to give the country a brief on the whole COVID issue about vaccines, what have you. And we all know the procurement board in this country is a joke. They can't equip our Navy properly. They can't equip our Air Force properly, and they can't get proper vaccines to the people in time. All these countries are ahead of us for some reason. What does that tell you? Anyway, here's the audio. It's a little exchange from Miss Harder from Lethbridge, Alberta, Conservative rep, and between Mr. Guilbeault. I'll let you decide.
For Lethbridge.
It's sad that the minister still doesn't have an answer to this question. It's been asked for days now, and still he continues to point to big organizations like Google and Facebook rather than talking about the protection of individual rights and freedoms, which is the question at hand. For bills like C10, they're put through a sniff test, which means that the Justice Department goes through them and decides whether or not they adhere to the Charter of Rights and Freedoms. I put forward a motion last week at committee asking that there be another review done to this bill because it has substantially undergone change. Experts have stated that we need a new evaluation from the Justice Minister to determine if C10 respects the Charter. Does the Minister agree?
The Honourable Minister.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I find it incredibly hypocritical that the member of Lethbridge, who, given the opportunity, would not hesitate 1 minute to remove women's right to choose, a right protected under the Charter of Rights and Freedom, but would like us and Canadians to believe that all of a sudden she cares deeply about said charter. I have rarely seen such hypocrisy before in my life, Mr. Speaker.
Unbelievable. Seriously, that...
Order. 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 Point of order. We have a point of order not usually carried during question period unless it's a technical issue. Maybe the honourable member wants to bring it up after. But, I mean, there's no... I just want to... I have a good feeling of where the honourable member wants to go, but the proceedings, in order to continue, take a certain amount of respect amongst individuals. And when someone speaks on a mic...
Yeah, so there you have it, Mr. Gilbo, deflecting basically what Ms. Harder had to say. Right. Now, regardless of how you feel about the abortion issue, that's besides the point. The thing being, our right to do, our right as creators, our right as writers, as artists, as dancers, as guitar players, musicians alike, it doesn't matter what you do online, okay? As long as you're not plotting to blow something up, as long as you're not plotting to destroy something, then it should be free for all, okay? And I've said this in my last episode, if any minister decides to table such bullshit in the name of safety, it's got nothing to do with safety, it's about control, okay? How many times has mainstream media sat there and praised the walks of Justin Trudeau and Catherine McKenna and the pint-sized you-know-what, Miss Freeland, okay? Sat there and praised Morneau for his great budgetary ideas and praised all these individuals. Oh, because they did such wonderful things, such accomplishments. And yet half of them have had everything handed to them all their fucking lives. Right? And of course, Justin there a few years back giving mainstream media $600 million to function and flourish properly. So of course they're going to say wonderful things and kiss his butt. Okay? But any minister that wants to table such legislation, okay, to me, as far as I'm concerned, is nothing but a tyrant or a sad sack of shit.
Stay updated and follow Crusty Canuck on Facebook, Twitter, Gab, Telegram, YouTube, and Podbean. Subscribe today and donate at crustycanuck.ca.
And see, what gets me too, ladies and gentlemen, is that I remember back in my high school years, there was a big issue with censorship when it came to certain bands and when it came to a few songs or certain performers. I'm not a Madonna fan, never really was. I think she's just a fucking weirdo, to be honest with you. But I remember the controversy with one of her tours at the Sky Dome, and some Toronto police officers were going to shut down her show because they thought her show was lewd and offensive, right? She fought and she won, right? Bare Naked Ladies. We all heard the band Bare Naked Ladies, right? Mayor of Toronto at that time was disgusted with that name. So they wanted, they wanted to stop the Bare Naked Ladies or change your name because the name seemed inappropriate. But no, they end up becoming a big selling band in that part of the 90s. So it tells you things that it's been attempted and tried before, little pockets here and there, right? I remember back in high school, certain books were banned. They didn't want us to read. They didn't want us to read Deliverance. They didn't want us to read anything about the Confederacy from, a Confederate point of view of the United States Civil War. They didn't want us to read anything too colonial, per se. So when I look back at that now, I'll have some more tidbits of information later on. But yeah, it makes you think how a lot of this has started a long time ago, and it's rearing its ugly fucking head right now. So to Mr. Gilbert out there, I'd like you to kiss my Royal Canadian ass, sir. And I'd like you to take one flying leap into fucking nowhere. All right? As far as I'm concerned, I don't care what your qualifications are. I don't care what you think you know and what you think is best for us. You don't make those fucking decisions, Buckeye. Okay? You don't make the decisions for what I can say and what I can do. You don't make those decisions for anyone for what they can say and what they can do. Okay? And don't hand me this crap about safety and being good to people. When you take things away from people, you're not being good. You're being a tyrant, being a little fucking dictator. And shame on everyone that's backing him up. Okay? Shame on everyone that's backing this fucking bullshit up. Honestly. Like, the Liberal Party has turned into nothing but a great big fucking shit show. Especially when it comes to these legislations they keep fucking trying to pass. Everything from M103 to the fucking OIC and guns, and now to this stuff. Like, come on. Huh? Do you not understand the results of what you're going to do. Now, luckily, okay, Mr. Jagmeet Singh is going to be against this. And there's a link in the Post Millennial, or a nice article in the Post Millennial that I'll post in the description for you guys to read along too. But luckily, he's standing against it. Yeah, here's the article right here from Post Millennial, dated the 3rd of May. Breaking, NDP will vote with Conservatives on motion to ensure censorship bill does not violate charter rights. So the statement released on Monday calls out Heritage Minister Guilbeault for not doing the necessary review before moving forward. All right, so NDP critic and deputy critic for Canadian Heritage, Alexandra Bullrice and Heather McPherson will now be voting in favor of the Conservative-led motion that will suspend Bill C-10 until it's confirmed not to violate any charter rights. Well done in those NDPers. Thank you. The statement released on Monday calls out Heritage Minister Guilbeault for not doing the necessary review before moving forward. Okay, that's why on Monday we will be voting in favor of a motion that puts Bill C-10 on hold while the Department of Justice conducts a new charter compliance analysis and calls the minister to appear in committee, the statement says. The NDP plans to table a sub-amendment that puts a timeline on the motion to make sure the Conservatives are not using this as an opportunity to delay the advancement of the bill indefinitely. Well, it's not a strategy. It's about our fucking freedom of speech, NDP, CPC, and LPC, and Les Blocs, and Greens. Okay, it's about freedom of expression. At least someone's taken a stand. NDP leader Jagmeet Singh told media last Tuesday that he may be open to supporting the controversial bill. And I made a mention of that too in last episode. Heritage Committee is made up of 4 Conservative members, 5 Liberal members, as well as a Liberal chair, 1 NDP member, and 1 Bloc member. A tie would be decided by a chair. So needless to say, let's look into it for what it is. It's censorship, folks. Don't dress up a poop sandwich and call it a submarine. Don't put a piece of shit on a cracker and call it an hors d'oeuvre. It's still a shit cracker, still a shit sandwich, and still a fucking shit submarine.
Stay updated and follow Crusty Canuck on Facebook, Twitter, Gab, Telegram, YouTube, and Podbean. Subscribe today and donate at crustycanuck.ca.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, too, and please do not forget to join me on Supercast. A link will be in the description with a little green check mark. Yes, Supercast. You join Supercast, you get anywhere from 7 to 8 to 9 episodes of the Crusty Canuck podcast, all for $5 a month, uncensored. So until they come and get us and start censoring us all, please consider joining the Supercast. Like I said, link in the description. $5 a month gets you all of my episodes uncensored from Podbean to you. So here, give that a shot too. And please check out my store, customizedgirl.com/s/Crusty Canuck. I got t-shirts, got swimsuits, got hats, got mugs, got some magnets, got some nice buttons there. So please check out the Crusty Canuck gear shop for all your Crusty Canuck paraphernalia. And I'm working some more right now too. So anyway, carrying on again with this lack of transparency, right? Of course, the Prime Minister, he hasn't said much, so obviously he's all for it. On there like white on rice, let's give this a go, right? Do whatever to win votes, because that last budget they promoted did nothing but to buy votes, to show sympathy. And now we got more of these lockdowns coming in too. So, hey, talk about curbing, talk about stopping a bad thing by locking people up again. So much transparency, eh? So many promises. When I reflect on the 2015 election, and then when I reflect on the 2019 election, all these promises and delusions of grandeur and all these wonderful things that are come our way. And yet the Liberals have done only one thing, cater to a few. And proof is in that. I've had a few people weigh in on my profile lately and say, oh, what's Trudeau done that's so bad? Oh, you don't understand politics. You don't understand how things work. You should understand that socialism is a good thing. If you understood economics, you'd understand socialism. What kind of fucking statement's that? Like I say, I'm not going to give away anybody's name or expose their profile to anything. I don't believe in that doxing bullshit. Everyone's entitled to their opinion, right? But if you're going to say stupid shit like that, you got to back it up, right? It's like when we were kids, we were taught how to write essays, point, proof, explanation, and conclusion. If you're going to make a statement like that, back it up. Give me an example how this great socialism spectrum is such a wonderful thing that's going to help you and me in the long run. Oh, yeah. Okay. I think the 20th century has proven that. And as we gear towards the getting into the center of the 21st century, it's 2021 now, 21 years since Y2K. Yay. Remember that fucking hype? People stockpiling generators and stuff just in case the computer bug took over and everything went to zero again. Yeah, remember that hype? Yeah. Look at the hype we're going through right now, though, too. So instead of the civilian population getting hyperactive, we got politicians getting hyperactive with all this censorship bullshit and passing these bills to protect us in the name of safety, right? It's funny. These are the same people that said, oh, you don't need a gun. Nothing bad's going to happen to you. You don't need a gun to protect yourself. There's no need for self-defense. But, we got to take guns from people because of all the crimes that have been going on in Toronto, Montreal, and the bigger cities of Canada, right? Yeah. What kind of a contradiction is that? So if there's no chance of me having to defend myself, then why is me having a gun such a big deal? You know what I mean? Consensus, right? These are all people that are elected and pinpointed and put in positions for the sake of their identity, not for the sake of what's good for Canada and what's good for you, what's good for me, what's good for them, basically. No, because what's good for them is what matters the most, right? They make these policies because they're the educated officials. They know what they're doing. Oh, of course, yes. Right? All those Zoom meetings are so terrible. No, they're so tiresome. Oh, my God, what a long day doing Zoom all day. Yeah, what a long day to fucking sit there and make $183,000 a year. And you're in Zoom meetings because of this pandemic. You can only find the time to sit there and make bullshit statements off and on for 10 hours out of the day. Oh, poor folk, eh? How about those poor folk that have to sit on their ass all goddamn day because they can't go shopping and they can't go to work because your mandates have closed the fucking stores. Right? Your mandates have closed this down. Your mandates have shut this down. You're taking the money out of the mouth of babes, basically. That's all of us. But I can rant and go on about the whole fucking issue with the economy, right? And how my beloved Alberta now here is putting more lockdowns and measures. And I really don't care how genuine, Mr. Kenny, if you're listening, how you were. Have some balls, man. Tell these medical bureaucrats, let's find a viable solution to this issue here. Okay? People have tried to tell Doug Ford this. People try to tell Mr. Legault in La Belle Provence this crap too. And still, restrictions. All these cases are popping up. Oh my God. Stop encouraging the fear. Can we not try to find some optimism? That is one of the reasons why you guys were elected. To promote some kind of optimism. To promote some kind of hope. Instead, you're following the narrative again. Have to lock this up, have to close more churches, have to hand out more bloody fucking tickets, especially to people that can't afford to fucking pay them, or even afford to get an attorney to represent them in a court of law, to tell the justices and other judges that this is a fucking joke. But no, you don't want to see it that way. Right? We gotta keep herding people into corners. We gotta keep control. Jesus Christ, it's like a fucking overbearing marriage.
Stay updated and follow Crusty Canuck on Facebook, Twitter, Gab, Telegram, YouTube, and Podbean. Subscribe today and donate at crustycanuck.ca.
And like I say, folks, too, please check me out on Supercast. It's a Canadian-operated company. It's based in Canada, but it's a co-American Canadian. But needless to say, it's Canadian-based. And help out us podcasters, too. So when they start censoring us, you can go to Supercast to be censorship-free. So $5 a month gets you all of the Crusty Canuck episodes you desire. The more I make them, the more you get them. So $5 a month, please join today. I'd like to make this a full-time commitment if I can. So I need my viewers and listeners such as yourselves, my wonderful listeners, viewers, to help make it possible. So please check out me on Supercast. The link will be in the description. And when we're carrying on more of this transparency stuff, like I said, Miss Telford, secretary of the Prime Minister, or one of the secretaries. Anyway, she was appointed in the position. According to some mainstream prints and other media outlets, she had a great idea on what was going on when it came to these harassment issues, okay? She was well-informed, apparently. And the PMO's office was well-informed, and Mr. Harjit Sajjan was well-informed, too, right? Our defense minister, the guy that sat there and kept pointing fingers at people for being white, and the same guy that sat there and said the old F-18s were a great investment to replace our older F-18s, that guy. Yeah, that crazy fuck. And apparently they all fucking knew. So, and the saying to them is that, well, we didn't know it was a Me Too issue. And I say, well, it doesn't have to be a Me Too issue. It's bloody harassment. Okay? And I say again, if there's any female soldiers, or not just female, correction. If there are any soldiers out there that need somebody to talk to about something, whether you were harassed or demeaned, and you're not sure how to go about doing it, give me a shout. Okay, I'll leave my email and my contact there. Send me an email. Let me know. Tell me your story. Okay, there's still a few people in my life that I can gear you to that might give you a hand. Okay? So don't be afraid. I don't care if you're male or female. If you're in a situation, ladies and gentlemen, and you don't feel that you're really safe, and I'm not talking safe space bullshit. I'm talking you go to work and someone's eyeing you up, or you feel that you're being preyed upon. Let me know, okay? Let me know, and let's get this shit dealt with. Because I'm sick and tired of the mainstream media treating it like it's no big deal, when really it is, okay? I don't care if you're male or female. You go to a job that you love doing, you should be treated with respect and courtesy, regardless if your coworkers like you or not. Okay? Because you're all there to do the same fucking job. Doesn't matter what trade you're in. Doesn't matter what branch of service you're in. You're all there to get the job done to the best of your ability and work as a team. Okay? And it doesn't matter if the team captain's a dick or the best thing since sliced fucking bread. You got to work together. But if anybody, and I'll say this again, if anybody out there who's listening to this podcast and wants somebody to talk to or needs some help, let me know. Okay? Crusty B Canuck 67 at gmail.com. Like I said, my information in the links as well too. Right? Just let me know. If you don't feel comfortable talking to your chain of command, or you don't feel comfortable going to the mainstream about this, let me know and we can do something together. Okay? Because I look back at my 20 years and I've met some wonderful people, and I've worked with some great fucking people too. And I've worked with my share of assholes just the same, right? And there have been a few situations I was privy to know and to see where there was harassment going on, and it was dealt with, right? It was dealt with. So things can be done in your favor. So trust me, okay? If you feel like you want to talk and let me know your story, please don't hesitate to reach out. Send me an email or two. Okay? And I'll do what I can for you. Right? And I'll also leave a 1-800 number too, that any veterans and to anyone who knows any veterans that are having trouble, don't hesitate to use that number too. Link will be in the description. Anyway, carrying on, my beloved listeners. This week's on the Thursday fastball, I don't have a guest. Had some scheduling issues. So needless to say, you'll just be yours truly this Thursday night at 5 o'clock. I got myself a part-time job, so I am trying to keep my bills paid and all that. But that doesn't stop me from doing this podcast and doing something that I love. I love doing this for you all, and I'm very, very grateful that I have an audience like you out there that's given me the time and day and sent me some wonderful comments, and to those people out there who have sent me some not-so-wonderful comments. You just fuel my fire. So pay attention Thursday. I'll just be flying solo Thursday. And then every Sunday as well, too. The Sunday fastball will still be a thing with myself, Adam Daniel Mezei, Fred Stockman, Chris, the Veterans Veritas, and other guests, too. Sometimes Gabriel Scheer, sometimes Mike the Pipe Boss. But we'll have a lengthy and a well-discussed panel on Canadian politics, art, social spectrums, and other dilemmas that's haunting this country today as we speak. So pay attention to my community page on YouTube and Facebook for updates on that as well. And like I said, I want to thank my audience, too, for such the wonderful comments I've had the past couple of days, too. I had some nice emails. Thank you very much. Those individuals, you know who you are. Thank you. I am very, very grateful that you like my work, and I appreciate your feedback. And to everybody else out there, too, my new subscribers, thank you once again. If it wasn't for the overwhelming subscriptions I have had the past 6 months, I don't know what will be going with this show, but please keep liking, sharing, subscribing, all that good stuff. I am very, very grateful. And please click like and all that. Get the algorithm going. Tell these big techie guys that we mean business, okay? I don't mind using your platform, but don't be telling us what to say, what to do, when to wipe, when to peck our nose. But now we've come to the part of the episode, ladies and gentlemen, where I present
the Canadian polar vortex of bullshit.
Yes, something I like to give to a leader or a team member or a team or a group of individuals or a person or someone in politics or outside of politics or somebody famous or just some stupid person that does something really, really, really fucking ridiculous. And they just can't seem to get their head out of shit. So, after due thought and consideration, the winner of
the Canadian polar vortex of bullshit
goes to none other than, wait for it, Stephen Guilbeault, Heritage Minister of Canada, or censorship aficionado. Here's a guy that got into trouble back in 2001, scaling the CN Tower in the name of Greenpeace, trying to save geese, all that good stuff. Fine. Okay, buds, I get it. But now he's calling the shots, 20 years later, trying to tell us what to see, what to do, when to do it, and he's sitting there promoting this bill as if it's the best thing since sliced fucking bread. So, Mr. Guilbeault, congratulations on your award of
the Canadian polar vortex of bullshit.
You, sir, are a fucking putz, a schmuck, and I can't wait to see you get defeated in the next federal election. You dirty, dirty fucker. Anyway, carrying on with more of this lack of transparency. So with all this stuff going on with controls and closing things down and people worried and pointing fingers and all this other bullshit, I'm just like, enough is enough. We've been at this shit now for the better part of fucking 14 months, going on to 15 months, okay? We have indecisive answers from our leaders. We have Patty Haydu saying using vitamin D and zinc is fake news. We have other doctors that haven't practiced medicine the better part of 10 years that are encouraging our leaders to sit there and to ticket and to penalize people. Okay? Yeah, just keep taking their money. Just keep punishing people. It sounds like I'm back in the third grade again and I get caught swearing, but instead of put me in the fucking corner, you keep the class in for recess. Oh, that's great fucking leadership, isn't it? Yeah. What a great fucking example these people are promoting. Okay? And I'm going to remind my listeners, too, that a lot of these people are still getting paid quite the big bucks to sit there and tell us what to do in the name of safety. Okay? So whether they're gearing up for a big socialist utopia or gearing up for China to come around and say something magical to us, or in a year's time, gearing up for the UN to start promoting their mandates, they're not doing too fucking well. Because there's a lot of people that I have talked to that are gearing up for a good fight back. And I'm not talking picking up sharp pointy sticks and pitchforks and whatever firearms they get their hands on. I'm talking some great fucking rallies, and I'm talking some great fucking procedures where people are going door to door, asking people questions, getting the word out there, and coming together to say enough. Now, this past Sunday, I was watching Question Period with my wife, and Mr. Mulcair, Tom Mulcair there, the ex-leader of the NDP, sitting there on his high fucking horse laughing at the so-called anti-vaxxers and anti-maskers in Montreal. And the footage I've seen from Montreal, whether it be from Rebel or other independent outlets and mainstream media, they're not sitting there talking about anti-vaccines and anti-masks. They're talking about fucking freedom. Okay, Mr. Mulcair? Do you understand that concept? Okay? Now, you're out of politics right now. You get yourself a nice fucking pension. So you're sitting fucking pretty. And where the hell you're living in La Belle Provence. And you're sitting there looking down at people. And probably the majority of those people voted for you when you were in fucking office. Okay? So maybe you should think about that, you fucking twat waffle. Oh my God. Like, just, really?
Join today's NDP. We'll keep moving the goalposts. You don't walk the line for us, we'll call you racist, misogynistic, xenophobic, homophobic. We look for racism in everything. Please, join the NDP today. And subscribe and donate. Please, walk our line. Thank you.
And that's what gets me. Some of these clowns sitting there, you know, they always have this fucking platform in the mainstream media, and they always speculate. Okay? I don't see these guys going out and joining these rallies or fighting the good fight, okay? Now, I've said this before, and I'll say it again. I'm happy that there are some conservatives in Parliament that are standing up for common sense, okay? And I'm happy that there's a guy, Derek Sloan, that's out there rallying too. Randy Hillier, Mr. Bamber from the Ontario Parliament out there rallying. You know, hell, even Max Bernier. Great, you're out there rallying with the people, speaking, getting people going. And I'm thankful there's guys out there like Chris Sky doing his thing. Tiffany and Tammy, guests that I had my show before that are out there rallying. Pastor Artur Pawlowski, a survivor of communist Poland, who come to Canada for a good life, who's now standing up for what's right. We may disagree on religion, but all the power to you, sir. Fucking right on. Right? And we need this. We need this freedom. We need this ability. It doesn't matter if you're Christian or Muslim or Jewish. It doesn't matter what gender you are or how you identify. We need freedom to fucking be. Just to do what the fuck we want to do. And we're not going to hit people and take their stuff. It's that simple. But no, the government doesn't want that. Right? So my suggestion is this. Get the vaccines rolling. Quit with the fucking excuses. Quit with the administrative bullshit and who you got to slap and fucking tickle and get the fucking job done. It's that simple. Now, I don't know the logistics that's going into this because I don't know how the procurement board works other than how they waste their time and sit in their hands and collect their fucking paychecks and worry about this contract, worry about that contract when they should be worrying about the people they serve. So I want to see more of these politicians that are standing fucking high and mighty in fucking Ottawa. I want to see more of you guys out at the rallies too and standing up for your people. Okay? And that doesn't matter if you're provincial or federal. I want to see more of these guys stand up and take a fucking stand. Because if you got the time and effort to rally around pre-election and promote your fucking campaign, you can get off your fucking high horse and whatever ivory castle you think you belong in and come back with your regular folk and start preaching the gospel. Start standing up for your constituents. Start standing up for the people you represent. Okay? And if you got to scream and yell and start throwing some fucking books, so be it. Because I just played you some audio there, ladies and gentlemen, that proves that these people don't fucking care. Because their idea of hard labor is Zoom meetings all day. They don't know what it's like to go out and haul cases of beer, you know, or shovel fucking shit, or shovel ditches, or dig this, or clean that, or milk cows, or raise cattle, or raise grain, or work at the pumps, or work at the derricks. Right? Or work in the fucking patch all hours of the fucking day. They don't think about those concepts. They think about themselves. So, ladies and gentlemen, write, email, call, or go to the offices of these fucking leaders and demand action. Really, demand. Get out there and tell them how you fucking feel. And if they're not going to show up to a rally if they're invited, or if they're going to make some fucking excuse, then I think it's time to understand that we need more blue-collar people calling the shots in Parliament and in the MLAs and in the Queen's Parks and in all the other fucking legislatures Canada-wide. It's something to think about, folks, really. Because there's a lot of people out there that talk a great game, but they fucking fail to lace up.
I'm sorry, I can't hear you. I have an infection in my ear. Oh.
That's usually the response I kind of get from some of the people I've talked to. Now, I've talked to the member of parliament from this riding. Good man, you know, but it's like, bud, come on out here with us. Let's get this shit on the fucking go here. Okay? Let's stop worrying about how things look and start worrying about how things are. But I always like to emphasize, too, that the moment these guys talk shop and they talk big and they fail to lace up and they fail to get into the corners, you know, and do the forechecking, and they be on the defense, this is what they really deserve.
Absolutely nothing.
All right? I could sit here all day in front of my computer as I record this episode and rant and rave, but I'm in a position right now, too, where I can't always afford to hop into my truck and go down to Calgary or go to Edmonton or go to any major city with a rally. right? I got bills to pay too. I got to keep my lights on. Got to keep food in my fridge, okay? I got to make sure my wife is good to go. Got to make sure my pets are good to go. I got to make sure everything's running. So the money I do make with my job now and what I get from my pension basically goes to the maintenance of that. So that's the thing, ladies and gentlemen. Well, when time permits, I will be at those fucking rallies, and I will be fucking talking the good talk, and I'll be walking the walk too. Like I say, I do have ambitions to get in the VCP. I am with the VCP, but I have ambitions to run in this riding. Okay? Battle River Crowfoot. So if they do call an election in the next little while, look for a VCP sign, and you'll see my mug on there. Telling it like it is. Anyhow, ladies and gentlemen, I have been Crusty Canuck on this beautiful 5th of May. Happy Cinco de Mayo to my Mexican listeners out there, right? There's no cultural appropriation there. I know it was about the Mexicans kicking the French ass back in the 1860s. So happy Cinco de Mayo. And to my Star Wars fans, happy belated 4th of May. May the 4th be with you. And of course, to my Star Trek fans, same thing. Happy Star Trek, all that good stuff. Not that it really matters anymore, but it's all good. There will be light at the end of the tunnel, ladies and gentlemen. We just got to believe it, but we got to demand it from our leaders too. And that includes the administrators and the bureaucrats alike as well. Okay? And we got to question these police officers as well that are sitting there enforcing it just the same. I'm not questioning the credibility of some of my police officer friends, you know, but there are some police officers there that need an ethics check. Okay? And don't buy the harp and hype that's coming from the States about cops killing people. No, cops don't do that. Police officers are good fucking people too. Keep that in mind. Like I said, 5th of May, ladies and gentlemen, episode 122. I have been Crusty Canuck. And thank you once again to all my subscribers and listeners out there and people that have said wonderful things. And please keep liking, subscribing, and share this all around. I'm actually looking at different mediums too. I've recently have a Rumble account now. I'm on Signal. I'm on Telegram. I even checked out Odyssey.com. So I'm putting some content up there. And I'm also trying to get some content on a new format that I found from the Rebel called Super U. So I'm trying to get that squared away too. But please pay attention to my community page on YouTube and Facebook for updates. And I'll see what I can do for you. Anyway, like I said, I've been Crusty Canuck on this beautiful 5th of May. Weather's nice outside. I'm going to do some yard work. Got to do some administration there. But you'll see me again on Thursday, tomorrow night, 5 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. I'll be flying solo for the Thursday Fastball. And you'll also see me again on Sunday, on the Sunday Fastball with Adam, Danny, Mezei, and other guests. So take care. And I might get another episode hopefully by Saturday. If not, then you'll see me Sunday. But look after your friends and loved ones. Do what you can. You know, as my grandparents used to say, keep your chin up. Help each other out to the best of our ability. Look after your friends and loved ones. And remember, humanity and merit wins the day. Take care and I'll see you next time. Bye for now.
Hit it, sweetheart. Because I am hard, you will not like me. Yes, sir. There is no racial bigotry here. Here you are all equally worthy.
This has been another episode of the Crusty Canuck podcast. Stay sane and thank you for listening. From Western Canada, this is the Crusty Canuck podcast.